Whatever you believe to be true will be true, but it will only be true for you. That knowledge is from Nero. Shout out to him. But what I can say, in my unique interpretation of the information that I'm going to give you today, is this. I have my own relationship with esotericism, mysticism, and the oneness of all things. I experienced in my early childhood connection. I knew that my thinking was evidence that I was not knowing, and I knew that that was not natural. I knew that there was a place under my thought process and my ego. I knew that. I knew that I could not go to my parents or my teacher and ask, "Where is God?" I knew better. I knew that the information, the true unadulterated information, would come from within. I knew that God could not place me here on this planet and be separate from me. But I also knew that the gift that I was given of this body, to be able to come from the spiritual dimension where there is no limitation and inhabit a place where there is limitation, to be given also the gift of being able to learn deep truths through pain and suffering and limitation. I also had the intuition that I had to give up something. I knew that I was given the gift of the five senses, and I knew that if I wanted true connection with my Creator, that I would have to sacrifice those. Not permanently, but just temporarily, to gain clarity in the moment. Today I see that people are addicted to their phones, and they're addicted to any form of stimulation. It comes from schooling. We learn to never be still. We learn that from school. We learn that from being in an environment that does not foster silence and stillness of mind. It fosters learning and coloring and playing and writing and singing and running and recess and learning and go home and do homework and make sure you eat 3 meals a day and indoctrinate you into the person that you will become to best benefit the society of the elite that are not doing none of those things, and they are draining the energy and resources of our planet and our spirit. You know it and I know it. And there are also people out there that talk down on this information, mysticism, spiritualism. But nobody can ever make me question what I have already felt before YouTube, before the internet, before there was any type of information that I could have learned to make me have the thoughts that I had as a kid that connected me to a higher source of knowledge beyond my thought process. See, I experienced it myself as a child. So you could never tell me something to make me second guess it. And guess what? I'm fully in limitation now. I've sabotaged my life. My intuition told me whenever I was young that if I kept down the path that I was on, that I would lose that voice. And I surely did. And then I sabotaged everything in my life. Myself, my body. Okay? But I want you to know, you can surely find your way back because you truly never left. You know it, and I know it. What you need to do is not go find no new information. You need to delete information from your mind and be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You have to die to yourself to become who you envision yourself to be. And if you cannot calm your body from all the stress and trauma long enough to envision a picture in your mind and feel that state of wholeness and satisfaction and safety and security and abundance, not just while you're in your vision, but throughout the day as you embody that new person, that new frequency, then you are going to be trapped in your body, unable to change. We as human beings, tied to the physical through our body that is here always present, with an ever-wandering mind, always everywhere at once. If you can inhabit a frequency in your mind and see the person that you want to become, how they talk, speak, act, behave, think about certain things, you have to get into the mind of the man that you want to be. You have to ask yourself, in this situation right now, my higher self, what would they be thinking? While I'm spending this money and I'm so angry that I'm losing this money, what would my higher version of myself that has everything that they've ever wanted and is courageous and is strong and is all-knowing, what would that version of me think about this transaction of money? Where right now, in my limitation state, my low vibration, I believe that I'm losing this money. How would my higher self think about this transaction? And you go in your mind, you calm your body, you go in your mind and you envision your higher self. The version of you that has everything that you want. The version of you that knows exactly what to say, when to say it, can never get caught off guard, always knows what to do, never makes a misstep. What would they think about this, me spending money? Let me tell you, they would be happy that they're giving money away to somebody because they know that their money does not make them. Their state of consciousness is so high that they know that the money that they spend is going to a good cause and that money will recirculate to them because they are not made by their money. They and their consciousness is what generates the money. So they can never lose money, ever. And they never think about it like that. You have to be able to access that. You have to be able to access that state of consciousness. See, another thing, I deal with headaches and sinus pain and sinus problems all the time and have ever since I was younger. Since right around the time where I kind of lost my intuition, I started dealing with sinus pain. I also got the intuition that would leave me if I could find the version of myself that is beyond that. I have yet to find that version, but I know it exists. The work is not to be done out here in the world. The work is to be done in the mind. The work is for me to decide who I want to be. The work is for me to be able to see that person. The work is for you to be able to ask yourself, how would I feel if I didn't want nothing? If I didn't need nothing, but I just wanted a different experience? What would the version of me that has what I want feel right now? What would the version of me that is not pressed for money and is abundant in life and is connected to God and knows what to do, what would they be thinking about this situation that I'm in right now? Quiet yourself. Quiet your body, calm your body, breathe, slow down. Access the frequency with the gift that God gave you to be able to use your mind to see into reality. And access the person that already has what you want. And ask yourself, how would I feel if I had everything I've ever wanted? If somebody walk up to me wanting to argue and call me names, what would that state of consciousness do in that situation? What would that person, what would that frequency, what would that high level of consciousness do in a chaotic situation? How would they move? How would they operate? Would they be nervous? Would they not be nervous? What would they be thinking? Would they be scared? Would they be nervous? Would they be filled with fear? How would they feel? The version of me that is abundant, connected, strong, courageous, powerful, very high frequency. The people that are around that person are uplifted. They look at that person in admiration. They don't talk behind his back. They talk like they want to, that person has something that they want to become. They are inspired to be near that person. They really can't wait to talk to him because every time they talk to him, they gain insight. That is the person. What would that person do in the situation that you're in right now? Use your mind and access it. It is right there. And I'm also going to tell you that you can overcome physical limitation like illnesses by outgrowing the frequency which that illness lives in right now. And I am no better of a person to be able to tell you that that is the journey that I'm on. But like I said, what you believe is true, but only for you. So ask yourself, are the beliefs that you have serving you? Or are they making you sabotage yourself so you can fulfill a reality that isn't truly yours? I'll catch you next time.